welcome and thank you for being here. We are about to introduce DNRG, which is a repurposing film assets system, and we've been using FIMS technology, hence our presence here at NAB 2014. I'm François Abbe. I'm the president and founder of Mesclado, a team of architects and engineers. I'm with Marc-Antoine Arnaud from Mikros, who will introduce himself in a couple of minutes. But let's start from the start. A quick introduction about Mesclado. Effectively, our business is two tiers. One, we are a team of architects and consultants. We are involved on projects. And the other one is what we call media engineering intelligence. So we work on studies, we work on seminars, on consulting. You can see familiar logos on the left, AMWA and EBU, which is the booth we're on. We've been involved from, it's been 3 years now actually on FIMS, and we are going to mention one of the two FIMS enabled projects we've been working on. So that you understand, our DNA is about two types of technology at Mesclado, one on architecture and the other one on format. So formats IMF, which is the interoperable mastering format, heavily involved on 4K UHD. But today, again, we're talking about architecture. And in terms of architecture, we believe there's a switch from traditional broadcast architecture to SOA-based architecture. And now over to Marc-Antoine.
Thanks, François. I'm Marc-Antoine Arnaud. I'm a media developer at Mikros in the R&D department. As a start, I will introduce Mikros. It's an VFX studio based in France and Belgium, also Canada, Luxembourg, and with our partners 8VFX in the United States. Mikros is present in the media and entertainment with high-end advertising and content creation market with long-form features. Today we have actually 3 animation films currently in production. Other works include museum, art, music, video. Mikros also have some services of addressing color grading projects and offer DCP, scan and shoot services with digital intermediate. The digital lab and deliveries provide servicing for digital asset management, duplication and also restoration jobs. And finally, the R&D department with more than 50 persons to develop in-house tools like crowd simulation, 3D made painting, especially for video effects, and asset management and file delivery, essentially for digital lab. Here it's a snapshot of our different projects in animation commercials, with few of them awards like Oscar of animated short film with logo AMWA, or including the last Palme d'Or Cannes Film Festival Amour. Now we can take a look now we can see our last production in advertisement.
I'm the lyrical gangster. Pick up the crew in the area. Still love you like that. Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
So an example of Mikros' latest production. So the issue is how do we do more efficiently and faster, and here is why. So the Dinarchi project, it's basically 3 production houses, so 3 Mikros clients, Mascaré Film, Les Films Paleas and Zilam, and Mikros will hold their catalog, and through partners like Orfeo, Reslet, Neo Telecom, and state funding, you can see logos on the right, they've decided to put a project together to automate the distribution systems or the repurposing of assets. So as you can see here, I believe that the stage 1 of our industry has been about digitizing, then we moved on to the file-based workflows, and now it's about automating processes, so what we call industrialization. So remember, about a century ago, there was a lot of crafting around, and then we moved into factories. So we had to work a different way. And this is what it's about today, so more, faster, for cheaper. But how do we achieve this? You know, how do we milk the cow as fast as we can? We need to respond to business opportunities faster. Mikros Image business, like any post house, any data lab worldwide, needs to evolve as quickly as the client, as quickly as their demands. So we needed to work a different way. So Mesclado helps Mikros build an agile architecture around FIMS especially. So the background is about 2 tiers. On one side, the market is evolving, and we need to respond to that with the highest quality standard, because Mikros is about maintaining this quality standard. And on the other side, it's clients coming with more and more requests. So we've had more and more delivery platforms, and we need to again ensure that the revenue is maintained. A little bit about the background. Obviously, Dinarchi, it's about automating what can be automated around 4 poles, which are the 4 poles of Mikros post house. So first of all, about production. Then once you produce, you create masters. And once you got those masters, you need to create the multiple versions for delivery. And at the end of the chain, obviously, you're going to archive and keep this archive in your library. So two sides to this: video effects, VFX workflow on one side, and the data lab on the other. So it's about media convergence. This is not new, but what's new is that the post-production houses need to evolve along with the business, and that's the core business need we need to respond from the project. So we got a business evolving, and it will keep evolving, and the platforms need to evolve too. So basically the architecture is around 2 tiers, and this is what Marc-Antoine is about to explain.
Yeah, on the Dinarchi project we have 2 main deliverables. The first one is the data flow for mastering and archiving with a business application here. And at the upper, we can find the web application for film cataloging with metadata gathering and post-production job supervision.
So the target was to have an agile platform around the architecture we've just seen. And for this agile platform, we need to run media services. A service may be capturing, a service may be transcoding, a service may be transferring. These were the 3 first ever services that were FIMS enabled. He has to evolve in time, he needs to be easy to maintain, he needs to be future-proof, he needs to be agile. So very early on we had to make a decision. Okay, SOA was the way to go, but how do we ensure we got an agile system? The option we used was to use FIMS, and FIMS was perceived as a good solution, but complex to understand at the start and complex to implement. So that was one of the risks we had to manage. But we took the risk on the project, although FIMS was under specification at the start. So as you can see, and probably you're coming from Brazil, South America, in Europe, FIMS is not as present as it is on the American continent. But we got two projects in Western Europe that Mesclado is dealing with, and we hope more vendors, more broadcasters, more service companies will keep adopting it. And again, I will hand over to Marc-Antoine for detailed architecture side of things.
In the main technical SOA architecture, we dissociate three main levels. The central nerve here with the ESB to connect the two other levels. At the top, all users' application and workflow tools. And at the bottom, all web services for processing media data. As we can see, we implement a FIMS connector for transform, transfer, repository and quality analysis to connect our dedicated internal or commercial applications at the bottom. But as a generic ESB, we can connect some other services like our dispatcher, which was not part of FIMS description, or high-level legacy application like ERP. Finally, the FIMS is more methodology which can help us to interconnect some dedicated services very quickly, but it's not predefined on the closed solution. The other important thing about the SOA is the way to start quickly with existing services, but the future is to extend possibilities of these features with the addition of other specific services. Now to create our first basic system, we need to take the problem by both hands. The first one with developing some specific connectors, like TotalFX. It's an image sequence processor, or creating a few dedicated applications for extracting metadata and providing a quality check system with a file meta checker. And the last connectors are here for connecting a commercial of the shell applications like tape and hard drive archiving. And at the high level of the SOA, it requires new competencies for us to design and set up workflows around all departments. And the next step is to deploy them into a BPM manager with Bonitasoft. As we mentioned previously, we based our development on different tools, and the open source can be an important way to long-term collaborative work. We have the chance to get advantages of pre-existing works provided by FFmpeg and Bonitasoft, Talent DSB and the ETL, etc. But we also pushing new ideas of projects like TotalFX for specialized high-quality processing, or file meta checker for providing a generic metadata extractor and validator. Of course, the open source offers a quick integration, but it requires best practices, like I mentioned before with FIMS connectors. The DNARChy catalog requires a complex metadata architecture. We have chosen the eBucker anti-CDM description as a starting point. And on the technical points, and because EMF promotes the flexibility of repurposing content, we gave feedback to IMF working group to match our wishes to the DNARChy project. As the architecture is elastic and agile, this project will start now with beta workflows, with continuous integration of new services and more end-to-end workflows. And yeah, thank you for your attention, and you can going to the website for more information.